So, about 5 days ago, I made a video talking about how the 3x3 team that traveled to Toulouse, France was a waste of time and money. And OD Bets, they gave them 5 million to just facilitate their trip. And I just feel like OD Bets threw away their money. So, as per recording of this video, the team has touched down in Nairobi. They're back home from Toulouse, France. And this video, I'll just be giving a recap and a recount of what I saw, especially when it came to the 7 games that we covered. I did a film session series which had 7 games that we covered. About a week ago, I covered a couple of games that they started off playing in the first stop. And in the last stop that happened 2 days ago, we talked about how things unfolded as per possession. But let me just start off by saying this was a very disappointing outing. This is a very disappointing outcome. We are seeing players that have exhibited they have exhibited no change in their game. There has not been any evolution in their game. Starting off with Medina, I feel like this is a lady that there's a reason as to why she cannot play in any other team. I know there was that controversial issue where she was supposed to have gotten an offer abroad, but the thing went sideways, and she has had zero improvement in her game. I know the 3x3 team are head high. We were head high, especially when they won gold in Egypt, and it gave them a false sense of security, and they don't understand that there's one thing. It's one thing to get to the top, but it's another thing to look like you are on top. And what I'm trying to say here is, when that team won gold, I feel like their egos overinflated, and they gave themselves they thought that they were the true definition of champions at that time, and they did not need to make any changes. But when they went to Toulouse, France, prior to it, they went to Tunisia to make sure to sharpen that edge, to make sure that they're good. But when they landed to Toulouse, in the first game that they played, they got slapped back to reality, and they saw that even that win that they won in Egypt did not mean anything. That win did not mean anything, and they had to step up. And because they are very complacent and they are very rigid, and how they were supposed to go about making the adjustments to their game, they failed. And you can see, even with the low IQ players that I've been talking about in my film sessions, you can see some players cannot dribble, can't shoot, can't defend, can't score, cannot create. And their basketball IQ is at the lowest. Take the case of Medina. So Medina, we have seen a couple of plays where majority of them, she is very slow on defense, and she got past every single time on a blow-by the other players, especially if it's a skilled guard, if it's a skilled ball handler or playmaker, they're able to just score with ease with her. And we've only seen one block that she only got, and it went viral, and people are saying, oh, she's the best thing. She was the best thing. She could be able to block shots. But if you look at the games closely, and if you watch the whole games in the entirety, you'll see she's a big, huge reliability on defense, and she's very one-dimensional when it comes to offense, and she lacks basic footwork. This is one thing that I've kept saying. I've kept saying this girl lacks basic footwork, and this is something that has been overlooked just because of her size, and they think that playing her that position, will help the team win. But in reality, she's been a liability. And for me to say this, it's telling, and it speaks volumes, because this is a lady that has played. She played in the Birmingham Games in 2022. She was in the Nike Hoop Summit. She played in every single 3x3 contest. She was in Tunisia in the Hammamet Games, that 3x3 team. She went to the Algeria Nations League. She was there when they went to Poland. She's played even in the women's 5x5 team in 2023 February, or almost a year ago. And she played in Egypt, And she's also played in Zone 5 with KPA and also in the Africa Women's Basketball League. So this is a lady that has so much opportunities handed to her. But what does she decide to do? Nothing. She has zero ability to absorb anything at this point. And I don't think the team needs her at this point. We just need to get a new team, because if this is the type of performance she's going to produce, she's going to produce in the Olympics, then we are doomed. This is somebody that can't defend. And in the Olympics, every single country, every single nation is going to send their best. And look at what Kenya is sending, absolute trash at best. Just below average at best, honestly. Then we have Natalie. I've talked about Natalie, especially when it comes to in the film series. This is a player that for a point guard, you have to have a basic understanding of how to orchestrate the offense and how to have the IQ to score and when to facilitate. So this is a player that lacks any. Very one-dimensional when it comes to offense. Every single possession, she was just looking to pass it to Medina. That's it. And it was so predictable to the point where when she did it not once, not twice, but in the third time, the ball, when she dished out that pass to Medina when she was just below, it just kept getting deflected every single time. So this is not a player that you can rely on. She can't shoot consistently. Not even shoot. She's not even a three-point shooter. She can't hit a mid-range shot. So this is a player that doesn't even have decent ball handling skills. So for any team that is looking for our services, they just know that this is what this player comes with. Then we have Hilda. So Hilda, she only hit that. The only good moment she had was that late game clutch 3, and that's the only one. The other times that she has been playing, she has been a liability on offense and defense. This is a player that can't defend, can't shoot consistently, and overall just a net negative for the team. And not much to say about her. She played in the Birmingham games as well in 2022. She played with KPA. She played in that 3x3 team. And it's very hard to spot her value because of her age. She's very old. And I feel like no philosophy at this point. You cannot tell this person to change their game because they have been playing this way for the longest time. Same case as Natalie. She has played this way for a very long time. Teams have accepted her. The only team that can only accept her is KPA because that's the only team she can play for, and the national team. Those are the only two teams she can ever play for in her life. I don't think any team in their right mind will sign. Same case goes to even Medina. Like, there's no team in the right mind that can sign such players. Then you have Joy. This was her first go around. I'm not gonna talk much about her because she tried. She had to contend with all these imperfections in the team, and honestly, it was very poor. Then we had Valerie. She did not play. I don't even know why she traveled with the team. It was just a free trip for us. So there's that. So just as a roundup of what we saw with the team, and honestly, we got outclassed, and I can say we have a long way to go, especially when it comes to women's 3x3. It's only in Africa you can say that in Africa we are good, but you see when we went to Europe, we just got beat, as you saw, and it was so difficult to take because you have expectations, especially when you're representing a nation, and I feel like these players just getting a hall pass for every single poor thing they do, and the people who are in charge of the team, the quote-unquote coaches and the quote-unquote people that are there, are not even telling these ladies the truth. They're not telling them that you're playing poorly. It's like they're people pleasing them, because if somebody can walk out on the first game and commit and have mistakes and commit the same similar mistakes in the second game, third game, fourth game, that means there's somebody there that's not being honest with them. No one is being held to account. especially when it comes to just playing and just knowing what you're supposed to do. So I honestly blame not only the players themselves for being mediocre, but also the quote unquote people that took them there. Coach Evelyn, can see even the sec gen was there. Angela, she cannot tell them anything. It's just a free trip. It's a free money grab. I feel like they hustled the ODBets organization for that 5 million, and honestly, that's the money that they just finished it. And honestly, I cannot speak in with full confidence that they finished the 5 million. But all I'm just saying is there's lack of accountability at that front. And ODBets, with their good grace, they wanted to support the team. But just know, for any sponsor who's going in to support this team or any Team Kenya team, just know it's a loss. And you're always going to get disappointed. And it's not worth the money. It's not worth the clout, because they have no clout. These are people who are not transparent. And, they're just feeding the cabal. And one thing I've seen, the national teams, when they depart to the nation and compete outside, on their arrival back home, it's like they arrive like thieves. You don't even know if they're back. The same thing I saw with the Kenya Morans. I actually wanted to make a video talking about that then, but I just said, let me just wait to see if they're going to post their back. But at least the 3x3 team posted that they are back. But honestly, I must say, just doing an in-depth film series, I can say the women's team is done. I don't think they can do anything significant. This is just a once in a lifetime thing. They're making the Olympics. I don't think they're ever going to make it again. And the women's team is done completely. Even the men's team played in Ghana, and it was just a snooze fest because they did absolutely nothing. I didn't even see if it was even worth making a video. But the women, they just pull up one of the most pathetic performances. And they're back home where they belong. Stay home, because that's where losers stay. And these are players that I don't think they'll achieve anything significant in basketball in their careers. I don't think so. The only thing they do is they'll just play for these big teams, wait for keep the KBF playoffs, wait for Zone 5, and wait for the WBL. That's where it ends, and that's how it's going to be. So, not much to say about that one. And I must say it's very pathetic and disappointing. But I must say ODBets lost money. And this is a waste of time, money, and energy, and all the resources that go around, go and cover everything. So it was a poor performance. It's something that you cannot look back at and say that it was an achievement. The only achievement they made was just getting their passports stamped and boarding a plane, because majority of the players, they're just happy just boarding a plane and playing outside. That's it. They have no urgency in winning. These are players that are mediocre at best. They have shown time and time again they cannot absorb anything in their game. They have a very limited bag. They lack even the basic fundamentals in basketball. They don't have any. And there's a reason as to why they'll never get any contracts outside, because of how poor they are. They're just bottom of the barrel. And that's all I have to say about these women, because all in all, they're just useless, and they're not going to get anything. They're going to get anything or even achieve anything in basketball, and that's just the hard reality. So, if you guys like the video, make sure you leave your feedback down in the comments, and I'm out. Peace.